Hello, Culture Club. Welcome to your very first unboxing with me. My name is Adri. I am the Director of Education and your unboxing lady. I don't know what the title is for that. You can help me figure it out. We have a Culture Club kit. You have our first Culture Club subscription pack. This comes on the heels of our artisan support pack that got us through the pandemic, that helped us to lift those artisans up who have been making phenomenal, historically intact and traditional foods in the most responsible ways possible at a time when they needed us most. And we found a way to do that, and we found a way to navigate it, and you all found a way to support them. So this is an extension of that, a step in the same direction, but to give you an opportunity to experience the same foods that we are excited about, that we've always loved, that are new and cool and make us want to do weird food dances and the things that just bring us the most joy. So let's get into it. Let's open it up. Let's talk about what you have, what to do with it. And the theme of this one is the picnic pack, but you remember, welcome to the Culture Club. We've got meats and cheeses and nuts and mustard and all of these fun, exciting things. We'll go through them one by one, but the goal, of course, is to have tips and tricks to enjoy them at their best. So we'll talk picnicking, we'll talk other uses, we'll talk very exciting hazelnuts that I can't wait to talk to you about. But here's what I've got. Here's what you've got. We'll do cheeses first. Cheeses are first and foremost in my heart at all times. So that's what we'll dig into right off the bat. Let's start with Casatica di Bufala. Casatica is from Lombardy, which is one of the northernmost regions in Italy. Lombardian cheeses are traditionally made from cow's milk. Cows are what are around. That's what we've always used. However, these cheesemakers ended up taking a few water buffalo off the hands of some of their friends in the southern regions of Italy and started experimenting and making cheeses that traditionally called for cow's milk instead with water buffalo milk. So this is a collision of very, very old techniques and traditions with a new animal, a new milk. And the result is something that looks familiar and approachable, but is new and exciting and tangy and sour. So this is Casatica, a bloomy rind cheese, traditionally made with cow's milk, but now with water buffalo. The cool thing about water buffalo milk is it's high fat, but also its tanginess, its sourness. It gives you this air of yogurt or kefir. So it feels a bit brighter, fresher, zestier. So while this looks like a classic brie, maybe it's what people will feel reminded of, it's got a different body to it. It's got a different flavor to it. It's one that we really, really love to see on a cheese board because it is inviting in a way that feels like maybe you've seen it before, but has new flavor, has new fun. That's why we love her. So that is Casatica di Bufala. Next up is our Quicke's Cheddar from the Quicke family in Devon, in England. Mary Quicke is now the 14th generation of the family making these classic cloth-bound cheddars, and they do it the best. If you have been around Caputo's for long enough to remember the blip in time where we weren't able to get Quicke's Cheddar and saw us whimpering quietly in the corner, this is why. But it's back, it's delicious, nothing has changed, everything is perfect. Get a look at that texture. A classic English cheddar is much drier. It goes through the cheddaring process a bit more vigorously. The curds get stacked on each other, and the cloth allows for a bit of extra moisture release, but those cloths are soaked in lard. And while that might sound wild, it is a traditional practice because it invites a particular flora of bacteria to the exterior of the cheese and helps to impart really delicious, fun flavors, like the ones in this one. Asparagus, fresh horseradish. It's a very hard word for me to say that 5 times fast and send me your video so I can feel sorry for myself. But the end result is a flavor full of character, vegetal intrigue, and excellence. It is something that we've come to love and know that is distinctly the Quicke's Cheddar. So this one we want you to have with a pairing. Ideally, an ale, maybe an Oktoberfest beer. The time is nigh for Oktoberfest. It is a really wonderful pairing for this cheese. I can't think of a better way to spend an afternoon than with cheddar and beer. So join me in that, or find your favorite pairing, but either way, drink and eat up and have a great time with it. Now the next cheese, you got one of two cheeses. You either got Mesa Tome or Monte Alba. Monte Alba is our Spanish goat's milk cheese, if this is the one you have, from Andalusia. The Aguilar family uses 100% paiola goats. That breed of goat was almost nearly extinct and almost died out. If this family and a few others hadn't saved them, we'd be paiola-less. But we're not, and we have this wonderful cheese to share with you instead because of them. This is something that I think will excite people that love a classic chev, but want something that is a bit more mature and nuanced and grown up. This is that. So if you love that capric acid tang and acidity, this will be a welcome addition to your cheese board. This gets aged for about 60 days. It has a bit more depth, a bit more dryness, a bit more character. So you get to enjoy the familiarity of goat's milk, but with the zhuzh of some really great aging. Now, if you got Mesa Tome instead, you know this cheese. If you were following Caputo's at all, our relationship with Randy Ramsley, who owns and manages and makes all of the cheese at Mesa Farms, is one of the most special to all of us. We will go to bat in any number of ways for this man and these goats, because what they are doing is the epitome of what Caputo's has set out to protect and preserve. Randy has a small farm just outside of Capitol Reef in Caneville, Utah, that has a small family of goats that are used, nourished and milked for this cheese and a few others. But our Mesa Tome is a pasteurized goat's milk cheese that is aged for about 4 weeks in our cave by our affineuse, Antonia. She is our cheese goddess, the shepherd of all things cheese in our caves, and this is one of these cheeses that just make me want to hug her all the time. I think she has done a really magnificent job with these ones, and it shows in the rind. If you are new to eating cheese rinds, our hard and fast rule is to always try a little bit and see if you like it, and if you don't like it, don't eat it. But give it a bit of a nibble and see what you think. This is an example of a cheese that I think is improved with eating the rind. It is light, it is pillowy, it is super mild, but it aids in textural juxtaposition. It makes for a really, really tasty experience. So what we hope is that you will have a slice of this, and when you bite in, that you will taste Southern Utah. We talk about terroir in wine classes, this French term for taste based on a sense of place. And while that's always been something worthy of discussion in wine classes, it's not always as easy to talk about when it comes to food. But with Mesa Tome, it is. It tastes like the sagebrush. It smells like all of the wild things growing on the side of the banks of the Fremont River, where these goats happily get to go graze and play and enjoy their lives and do it the very best. So this is that place. This is that experience. This is Randy and his goats. And now we get to share with you. So here are our picnic cheeses for your first subscription pack. Pair them together, make yourself a beautiful board, save them for something special. Save one maybe. If you're gonna hold on to any of them, we'd recommend holding on to one of the firmer ones. Wrap them again very well in plastic or beeswax wrap, but pour yourself in a drink and enjoy them all together. Let's do meat. You have Recla's Speck and Elevation Meats Farmstead Pâte. You've likely seen Elevation in our lineup quite often because we love them. This is all made by our friend Chad Nealon in Colorado, but these are new pâtés. We've been fans of his salami for a very long time, and I am a personal huge fan of his andouille, but this is new and this is fun. It's a chicken liver pâté, and when we say pâté, I think it can be pretty polarizing. People don't love the idea of emulsified meats because maybe you've already had a bad experience with it. Maybe it was too irony, too organy, too hard to get into. This solves that problem. This is silky, mild, very delicious, but easy to love without that iron finish that might feel a bit aggressive, that might hurt your feelings. We're not here to hurt your feelings, we're here to improve your feelings. So open this up, slice through it. You can place coins on any number of crackers, maybe these ones in particular. But my favorite thing to do with this is to take some of your favorite artisan bread, swipe it across the entire thing, top it with either sliced radishes or maybe some pickled vegetables and some microgreens, and enjoy the simplicity that is a well-made pate without having to cover up anything yucky, because there's nothing to cover up, and that's the best part of this. So there's your pate. Now, Speck. Speck is a part of the cured meat family in Italy. This comes to us from Alto Adige. Think of the hills of the Dolomite Mountains. That is where this comes from, and it is a joy to behold, but different than our classic prosciutto crudo. This is first packed with the same salt that any cured meat would get. However, it also includes a few aromatics, primarily juniper berries and bay leaves. During that marination, those aromatics will impart into the flesh and see it all the way through, past the smoking and past the curing. After that marination, there's a significant amount of smoking that goes into this, but it's all cold smoke, so it doesn't cook it. So it's a cold smoke, but after curing, you get this much darker meat. It is not the same light pink that you would see in a prosciutto crudo. This is obviously a smoked meat. This is something that I would encourage you to maybe roll around some of your favorite greens, roll it around some roasted vegetables, roll it around some roasted squash. Bake this, make it into a speck chip, crumble it on your pasta, crumble it on your risotto, or just roll them up and stick them here. But we'll talk more about this when we get around to the mustard, because I think that is a really, really wonderful partner to the rest of what's happening here. Speck has been around in the Caputo cases since I started here 14 years ago, a very long time. It is something that we will always recommend, we will always get excited about. It takes the classic flavor and texture of prosciutto, it makes it more savory. It combines the tradition of Italy with the smoking traditions of all of our neighbors to the north. So think Austria meets Italy, goes meat, go ham, y'all. Literally. It's a fun one. If you haven't tried it already, now is a great time for you to be part of this cult. Now, we talked mustard. Let's get into that. This is Edmond Fallot's classic Dijon. Every culture, every ethnicity, every region has their condiment of choice, something on the table that is meant to kind of finish or complement everything else that you're eating. Unfortunately for the United States, it is ketchup. We are ketchup people, and for good old Utah, we have fry sauce. But the French have a classic Dijon mustard. Put this on your roasted chickens. Put this on your starch dishes. I love it on roasted potatoes, but think of it as something that would live on your dinner table that you would use often to spoon next to or on top of all of your favorite dishes. It will complement those flavors. It will bring new things to the surface. It will maybe excite and enliven some cured meats if you're having a cheese board for dinner or for a picnic. This is something that we want you to keep around forever, that we want you to incorporate as part of your daily eating habits. If you find that you love it, try all the other flavors. Try the tarragon mustard with chicken thighs. Try the walnut in all of your dressings. Try the blackberry as a vinaigrette. There's a lot of ways to go with this. We're full of ideas. Just come talk to us and we will be mustard people forever. So there is that. We would be remiss if we didn't send you a cracker. So we sent you the cracker that was created to be the partner to cheeses like this. This is from Rustic Bakery, started in Novato, now in Larkspur, and it is a sourdough flatbread. The ingredients are simple. It's flour and water and salt and traditional rising and a whole lot of flavor, but the intent was to pair them with cheese, so that's exactly what we're going to tell you to do. However, I think this and mustard and speck sound wonderful, and given their very, very fun kind of stick shape, we're gonna make a lollipop, a mustard and speck lollipop. Let's Let's not tell all of our friends we're doing this because somebody might come after me for it. However, I think a cracker dipped in mustard looks quite fun in and of itself. This is very Francis Fecteau, but let's make it better. Let's make it cooler with a wrap of Speck. I don't think there's anything wrong with having fun with your food. We take a lot of our lives very seriously, and if we don't have time to have fun here, then what are we doing really? So here, a Speck and mustard lolly. And if you want to get really, really wild, maybe we'll hide maybe a little bit of Quicks on the inside. Surprise your friends with your whimsy and wildness. But let's have a good time. Let's keep it fun. Let's keep it light. Like this. That's how I'm keeping things fun and fresh here. So a lolly for me, maybe not a lolly for you, but do plan on eating all of these probably in one fell swoop because boy, are they good. You've probably seen these around here for a very, very long time because we can't get away from them. They're just a really, really easy partner because they were intended and created for this. So that's why you have them. Now, finally, the thing I am most excited about, the newest to the shelves at Caputo's, are these hazelnuts. If you've been to our stores recently or been to a class, you've likely had Guido Gobito's Gianduioto or Cremino chocolates. Those are founded on the confection gianduia. Gianduia is the original collision of cacao and hazelnut, and it was created in this same region, in Piemonte, with these hazelnuts. So this is the main ingredient in gianduia, but also one that we've been trying to get our hands on for a very long time. It's finally here, and now it's yours. These are Tondo Gentile della Longa hazelnuts, which would loosely translate to nice round hazelnuts. They are full of monosaturated fatty acids, which is the same fatty acid we would find in olive oil, which is really great for keeping your bad cholesterol quite low. So not only are they delicious, they're also great for you, but they are full of flavor. This is what people consider to be the best hazelnut in the world, and people is us and others. But this is, you can't get any better than this, and we're so happy it's finally here. These are the things that make me want to happy dance all the time. So if you see me frolicking the streets, it's probably because I had a hazelnut, and you will understand when you pop them into your mouth. But please do enjoy them like this. You can crush them up and use them as a partner to blue cheese. I love these in a salad. I love them by themselves. Maybe pair them with your favorite craft chocolate and make your own little gianduia mishmash in your mouth. But whatever you do with them, hold them dear. I'm so excited that you have them. I can't wait to hear what you think. But dig into your Culture Club kit, y'all. Tell us what you do. Tell us how it goes. Tell us what you love and what you're gonna have to come back for and what resonated with you. But enjoy it all. Get your favorite people together. Go on a picnic in your backyard, in the park, in a park strip. We would never judge where you picnic, but we want you to have fun and we want you to do it with people that you love a lot. The Culture Club is a way for us to bring you nearer to our table. My best memories, some of your best memories are probably founded and centered around food, whether it's at a picnic blanket or at a dinner table, but this is what brings us together, and this was what keeps us happy and keeps us whole. So I hope you are happy and whole, and I hope your Culture Club kits are delicious and fun. Have a great couple months, and we will see you soon.